Welcome to Vegas, the place dreams are made of. A place where it's okay to gamble, take a chance, test your luck. For many, the dreams are dashed, but for a chosen few, good fortune can be found in the Nevada desert. This is where the pot of gold is waiting at the end of a winter's worth of competition on the Indoor Archery World Cup Tour. It all kicked off in Marrakesh, the first World Cup event ever held on the African continent. The second stop, Singapore. Then it was off to Telford, where Great Britain put on a great show. Now we're down to the best of the best, going bow to battle it out in a city that has seen its share of title bouts. So welcome to Las Vegas, the crown jewel on the up-and-coming Indoor Archery World Cup Tour.
Yes, the Indoor World Cup started about 3 years ago as the Indoor World Challenge. We had two countries and two tournaments, Vegas and Nîmes. Those turned out to be a great success. The purpose of this was to have visibility for our stars. The year after, we had three locations, which was Singapore, Nîmes, and Vegas. As a result of having three locations, we were able to have, call it, the World Cup. The World Cup then expanded this year in 2013 to having four locations, and we're very pleased that we were able to offer it in Marrakesh in Africa. This has been more and more of a success each year. Well, we're in Vegas now. We have the last event, the last stage. So we have approximately 2,200 archers, which makes this the largest indoor tournament of the world, and they represent 37 countries. World Archery is very pleased to be able to have the finals here in Las Vegas, which has a very large crowd, a very enthusiastic crowd, and we're looking forward to a great event.
Before Vegas, the world's greatest marksmen and women made their way to Morocco to kick off the indoor campaign. Marrakesh making a statement, welcoming the World Cup Tour to Africa for the first time. And for the first time ever, Crystal Galvin of the U.S. found herself shooting for the gold. Matched up against Inga van Kaspel, it was tied at 5-all after 5 sets. Time for a shoot-off. Galvin gets a 10, so does Inga, but Crystal's was clearly closer to the center of that target. Then in the men's compound gold medal match, it was an all-American affair. Braden Gelantine facing Bridger Deaton, who had Braden on the ropes. Bridger built a 5-3 lead, but Gelantine stuck one in the center of the target to tie the match at 5 apiece, setting the stage for another shoot-off. Braden was a bit off-center, giving Bridger a golden opportunity, but Deaton couldn't deliver the knockout punch, and it's Gelantine who gets the decision.
I was really happy, and then to shoot against Bridger, we were both pretty nervous up there, and I think it showed with our scores, but to shoot against a great friend and a great competitor, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
It was Russia versus Great Britain for the gold medal in women's recurve. Tatiana Sagina facing Naomi Folkard, who took a 2-point lead late in the match. With Sagina struggling to find the center ring, Folkard grabbed control on the final shot, splitting the set and picking up the single point she needed to nail down the victory. The gold medal at stage 1, giving Naomi a big boost psychologically.
I was really happy, obviously, and it was a great start to the indoor season, and I think it just gave me confidence that I'm doing the right thing for the rest of the year.
In what would ultimately prove to be an incredible coincidence, the Dutchman Rick van der Ven would face off against Italy's Matteo Fissore, who was trailing 4-2 and trying to play catch-up. That 10 put pressure on the Dutchman, who dialed up another shot that was dead center. 10-10-10 adds up to a gold medal for Rick van der Ven, who takes home some hefty hardware from Marrakesh. After coming out of Africa, the tour moved on to Asia and Stage 2 in Singapore, but the stage was set for two of the top stars in women's compound. Russia's Albina Loganova found herself facing Erica Jones once again, reviving one of the best rivalries in the sport. After beating Christy Collin in the semifinals, Jones was on a roll. Jones jumped off to a quick start, winning the first 3 sets, and from that point on, Erica cruised to a decisive win, avenging her loss to Loganova last summer at Stage 4 in Wrocław, Poland.
I
was able to make good shots, and so I got 330s in a row, and I guess, you know, she was struggling a little bit, so I was able to capitalize on it, and worked out for me, I guess. I shot well for 9 arrows.
Another intriguing matchup involved the Battle of the Brothers. Rio Wild had faced and beaten Logan Wild the year before in Singapore, but this time around, Logan was looking to turn the tables in this sibling rivalry. After 4 sets, the two were tied at 4 apiece. Rio reeled off a 10 to start the 5th set and led by 1 when Logan left his first shot a little low. Rio showing no mercy, not even for his brother. Logan left with no chance to play catch-up, not with Rio running the table in the final set.
Those are the hardest matches for me ever, because you want to celebrate because you win, but you also don't want to finish your brother. You feel bad that he lost, no matter who he lost to. I mean, I watch him when he's shooting, and I always hope for the best for him, so it's a tough match.
It's always tough when Korea's competing, and no one's tougher for a Korean archer than a fellow teammate. Jeon Sung-yeon would face off against Kim Min-jong for the women's recurve gold medal. Miss Kim found herself backed into a corner after just 2 sets, trailing 4-0. Meanwhile, Miss Jeon kept shooting consistently. Kim had to be shooting 10 since her colleague relentlessly continued piling up the points. Kim Min-jong could only muster 27 in set 3, putting the gold medal on a silver platter for Jeon Sung-yeon. It turned out to be a clean sweep for Korea, with Miss Jeon taking the top prize. In Morocco, Jean-Charles Valadon had to settle for the bronze. In Singapore, the Frenchman had a chance to take the next step, but he'd have to step over India's Tarundeep Rai, who trailed by 2 after 3 sets. Rai was right on target, but Valadon didn't waver. Neither did Rai, but the Frenchman was fearless. Jean-Charles kept it in the middle and was able to hold off a very worthy opponent with a 3 straight 10s in the final set. Valadon getting it done 6-2. The lights were shining bright in Great Britain, where Erica Jones would try to make it back-to-back gold medals at Stage 3 in Telford. This time, Denmark's Camilla Simode would stand in her way. She brought out the best in Erica Jones, who took a 2-point lead in the match and a 1-point lead in what would prove to be the deciding set. The Danish challenger was just slightly off-center with her first 2 shots, but when you're up against Erica, you'd better be perfect. Simode simply could not match shots with Jones, whose golden touch put the finishing touch on this match. 6-2 turned out to be the final tally, a healthy margin of victory. But Erica's learned not to take anything for granted. The men's compound competition pit Peter Elzinga against Mike Schlosser, both athletes from the Netherlands and both capable of claiming the top prize. But after 4 sets, Elzinga was in the driver's seat, leading 5-3 with 3 arrows to go. Schlosser starts out the 5th set with a 9, but Elzinga couldn't take advantage with his first attempt. Schlosser ups the ante, finding the center of the target, as did Elzinga. Schlosser's on the ropes, but he's not going down without a fight. Trouble is, Elzinga just needs to split this set to wrap up the victory, and wrap it up he does with a final shot that was dead center. This dazzling show continued with the Korean contingent coming up big in women's recurve. Park Se-hui would go head-to-head with Kim Yu-mi in a closely contested gold medal match. It was tied at 4-all after 4 sets. Then in the 5th set, Miss Kim turned the pressure up on Miss Park, who was up to the task, tying the set and sending the match to a shoot-off. Park set the bar high with pinpoint precision, and Miss Kim came close to matching that standard. But in a game often decided by centimeters, close isn't quite good enough. Kim Yu-mi comes away with the gold for Korea. Finally, 2 Frenchmen stepped up to the line, going toe-to-toe for the recurve gold medal. We pick it up with Jean-Charles Valadon locked in a 4-all tie with Thomas Faucheron. Valadon trying to recapture the magic that carried him to the gold medal at Stage 2 in Singapore. Jean-Charles throws down the gauntlet, and Faucheron cannot pick it up, answering with a 9. Advantage Valadon, who's just 1 shot away from winning the match. When Faucheron misfires, the door is wide open for Valadon, who does indeed make it back-to-back gold medal victories on the Indoor Archery Tour. 6-4 is the final score, with Valadon defeating Faucheron.